Hi, my name is Toban Nichols. I'm an artist living in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. And today I'm going to answer a question from Athena, who's 8 years old and lives in Greece. So she has a few questions, so I'm going to try to get through all of them as fast as I can. First of all, were you ever inspired by cooking? And the answer to that, Athena, is yes. I am definitely inspired by cooking. I think that cooking and making music and making art and being in the theater are all connected. I think those are all creative forms and they feed into one another and they inspire each other. So I'm always inspired by cooking and I like to cook. And I also have a lot of memories that come to me of my childhood whenever I cook, which I think is kind of fun too. Her second question is, did you start making art at a young age? Yes, the answer is yes. My grandmother started me making art because she sat me down in front of a piece of paper on her desk, and I started making art when I was very young, probably 5 years old. I would draw all day at her house, and she encouraged that, which I've always been inspired by and appreciate. She encouraged me to make art from a very young age. She even would hand me the bulletin in church that I could draw on while we were there. And she saved all of that stuff in a big box for me that I received after her death, which is amazing, and I'm still inspired by all of it. So yes, I've been making art since probably age 5, and that's because my grandmother encouraged me to do so. What's the next question? Your thoughts about creating when you were outside in the countryside? Yes, well, first of all, I'm from a small town in Kansas, which means that I was surrounded by the countryside much of my life. And I still to this day enjoy going out into the countryside and out into the woods. And you can see here's my backyard, which is also very verdant and green with lots of sort of countryside to it. And I enjoy very much and inspired by the outdoors. I love the outdoors. In fact, here's a view of the back of my house. You can see that it overlooks a big green area. So yes, I'm super inspired by the outdoors. I love everything having to do with mountains and trees and air and wind. So that's a huge inspiration to me. And then your last question is, were you inspired when you played with your child? Well, I don't have any children, Athena, but I do often teach children, and I have hung out with children on several occasions. Many of my friends have children, and I am continually inspired by children. I think they have such a great quality about them that's so innocent, and they're not affected by the world yet, and the way they see things is incredibly interesting and always inspiring. So I love it very much. Anyway, I think I covered all your questions. I hope so. And I'm going to send this off now. And I hope that you're having a great day in Greece and that we will see you soon. Okay, bye everybody.